Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing an updated reading goals. I went back through my videos from February-ish and discovered that I am doing really well with reading. I'm just not necessarily doing so well with keeping up on my goals. But so that that doesn't sound super vague, let's actually get into my goals. Some of my goals were to read more of my own books and read more nonfiction and to, hit my Goodreads goal. My goal for Goodreads was to read 100 books this year. I am currently at 72, so I'm not at all concerned about hitting that 100, especially once the bar is over, because do you have any idea how much I want to read a new book? I really don't think you do. I'm dying inside. Even though I love the books that I'm rereading, I'm dying without a new book. So there's that. I've 72 out of 100, doing well there. My next goal was to read more nonfiction, and when I looked back at all of the books I've read, I don't think I've read more than 5 out of the 72. The rest of them have been mostly fantasy, maybe a couple of more modern setting fantasies, if that makes sense. I don't know what that's called, but most of them have had some sort of fantastical element to them, which is great. I love my fantasies, but I also really want to read some nonfiction, and these last 2 months, that's what I've been craving. But again, trying to cram in the bar and everything that comes with that into my head is not conducive to reading a nonfiction. So after the bar, my plan is to read some nonfictions, and namely the one about Elizabeth I that I bought back in May. Surprise there. I also wanted to read more of my own books and not go to the library so much. That goal has actually been going fairly well. I did have a really teeny little problem with buying books when I was in school. I, again, buy a fair number of books, but I haven't for a couple of months, so I might actually have a chance of somewhat catching up on the books I want to read. And I haven't actually been to the library, I think, at all this year, which means that the books I have been reading have been books I own, even if they've been books that I buy. Doing fairly well on that goal, which is surprising but pleasantly so, and I'm hoping that, again, by the end of the bar I will have time to sit down and with Booktubeathon hopefully just crank out several books and quench that need for something new that isn't the law. Although at this point that's not new either, let's be honest. Another one of my goals was to just work on the lighting and get better at technology and this whole filming thing. I think I've gotten better. I hope I've gotten better. But at any rate, once I have more time to film, and theoretically once I get a job and move in and actually settle and have all of my books, I will be able to figure out the lighting more easily and not just rely on natural light, hence the shadows that, fall across my face fairly frequently. But I do have a tripod that I can set a light up on. I just haven't had the time to go and search for the other pieces that I need. I also went back and looked at my series to continue in 2018. And let me just tell you, I am not doing well there either. I'm so ashamed. But then again, I'm not, because I've read so many other books. So, as far as series go, I have finished 2. The 2 that I've finished / started are Three Dark Crowns, which is only 2 books right now, and a couple of novellas which I haven't read. And I have a review on this up for my channel, so I will link that down below. And then the other one that I'd read the first 4 of, but I finished, was Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. Fairy tale retellings with 2 twins. I enjoyed these series, but those are honestly the only 2 series that I mentioned in that previous video, also linked below, that I've actually done. The rest of them were Outlander or Game of Thrones, Ender's Game, Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, the Grisha trilogy, and Crooked Kingdoms by Leigh Bardugo, and none of them have I even touched, let alone actually sat down to read. Again, I have a lot of unfinished goals for the rest of the year, so this was actually a good exercise for me as well. However, I did manage to read a book that was 1,500 pages long because it was a bind-up of all 3 Lord of the Rings, And again, 72 books. Those are all of my goals that have mostly not been reached or also not been touched during the year of 2018. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up down below, and if you want to see more contents like this, hit that subscribe button down below. I will leave my Goodreads link down below if you want to check out the books I've read this year. Like I said, mostly fantasy. Also, if you have read any of the books I mentioned in this video or the goals or series, let me know down in the comments below. I will see you in my next video. Bye!